All right, so we'll begin seated, just simple crossed legs. And we'll take just a few moments right here to sit nice and quiet. Slow down. Maybe close your eyes if you like. Maybe soften your gaze, lower your gaze down to your mat. So we'll just allow the steady, smooth movement and flow of our breath here. And if you were rushing to get here, we'll take just a few moments here to take everything down a notch, slow down. We'll begin our yoga practice with a calm mind and clear thinking. And if you have been rushing this morning, if you've been very busy this week and you catch your mind flying off to all the things that you still have to do, just bring your awareness back to your breath. And just for the next 60 minutes, we'll try to set aside all of those things. And begin to deepen your breath now. Flutter your eyes open, sit up nice and tall. Just take a few cleansing breaths. Reach up overhead, connecting some movement and breath. Exhale to lower your hands. And then inhale, reach up, fill your lungs. And exhale. One more time, inhale. And exhale, drop your chin down to your chest. Relax your arms, your hands. Take your right ear over toward your right shoulder. And then drop your chin back down. And then left ear over to left shoulder. And drop your chin back down. And then we'll lift up again, lift your gaze. Inhale to reach up. And exhale down. And then inhale, bring your hands together right and in front and interlace your fingers. Exhale as you press forward. Inhale, turn the palms to the ceiling, reach up. And exhale down. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Once more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Let's walk the hands right out in front to the degree that is good for your hips. So if you want to walk way on out and fold in, that's fine. If you want to be on your elbows, that's fine. Or if you want to be up a little bit higher, you find what is good for you today. Looking for a little bit of a stretch in the outer hip and glute. And then walk your hands back in. Bring your inside foot out. Inhale to reach overhead. And exhale, right hand down, left hand over. Keep the left hip down. And then let's move with our breath here, kind of flow side to side. Inhale up and exhale. And this time the right hip stays down. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Now this time we'll inhale up and reach over toward the right, and we'll stay here a couple of breaths. So if you would like to, you can bend this elbow, the right elbow. You can look up at the ceiling. Find the degree of side bend here that's good for your body today. And let's reach all the way back up and over to the other side. Same thing, left hand down, right hand over. Stay here a couple of breaths. And then inhale to reach up. And we'll bring the hands right down in front and walk out, this time with the other leg in front or on top, folding in. Let's walk the hands back in and plant the hands about shoulder width apart with the index fingers facing toward the top of your mat, and swing your knees around underneath your hips. And we'll place the tops of the feet down on the mat. Inhale, as you let your belly drop, lift your sternum. And we're not really seeking to look really forward or up here. Just let your head and neck extend from your spine naturally. Exhale, tuck your chin, round your back, press through your hands. And then inhale, open up, lift your heart. Exhale, rounding up. Inhale. And exhale. Settle back right in the center. Lift your right leg straight out and back. And then take the left hand straight out in front. Holding right there, hold and breathe. Try to level out your hips and your shoulders. Inhale to reach long forward and back. And exhale to set it all down. Now we'll lift the left leg straight up and back. And your right hand forward. Leveling out the hips and shoulders. Gaze is right down on the mat. Steady breath. Inhale to reach long. And exhale to set it all down. Let's turn the toes down to the mat. Lift your hips up and press back for downward facing dog. So if you saw my Facebook post, I said, let's perfect our chaturangas today. So I want us to practice a little bit on that. I'm going to turn to the side up here. Let me close this door. All right, tuck your chin, round your spine, and roll out to plank pose. So you can lower your knees in plank if you like. Let's press the hips back up, downward facing dog. And what we're seeking to do is go back and forth between these poses without moving the hands and feet. Inhale, roll out for plank, bringing the shoulders over the backs of the hands. And then lift the hips, press back. Downward facing dog. Roll out to plank pose. Shoulders over the wrists or the back of the hands. And then press up, downward facing dog. This time when you roll out to plank, let's shift forward a little bit on the toes, keeping the elbows close into the ribs. Let's bend the elbows and lower slowly down. This is chaturanga, lowering down. So the elbows stay in really close to the ribs there. It's a little different than a push-up when you're out here. For chaturanga, you're in here. Some people call them yoga push-ups. All right, inhale, press and lift your heart. Little back bend. Exhale down. Press up to hands and knees and downward facing dog. Now let's do that one more time. Roll out to plank pose. Shift forward slightly. Keep the elbows close to your ribs as you lower slowly down. Release the tops of the feet. And inhale for cobra. Again, the elbows stay in really close. Exhale. Up to hands and knees and downward facing dog. Now look between your thumbs and take a couple of steps. Walk all the way to the top of the mat. We'll plant the feet so the second toes point forward. Your feet are somewhat parallel. Little bend in the knees, forward fold. Sliding your hands up your shins, lengthen your spine, inhale. Halfway up, exhale to fold, little bend in the knees. Inhale again, halfway up, hands just slide right up the shins, reach out through the crown of your head, and exhale to fold. This time we'll roll all the way up to stand. Reach your hands overhead and hands to your heart. Inhale, reach overhead. As you exhale, turn to the right, lower both hands, both arms, parallel to the floor. And inhale up. And turn to the left. Exhale. Inhale. And fold forward. Hands on the shins. Inhale. Lengthen the spine. And fold forward. We'll roll all the way back up to stand. Reach up. And again, turn to the right. Taking a little twist, keeping that right hip forward as you turn the right shoulder back. Inhale. And exhale left. Inhale up. And exhale to fold forward. Inhale, hands slide up the shins. And this time as you exhale, plant your hands on each side of your feet. Step your feet back for plank pose. Now, same thing we did earlier a couple of times. Shift forward slightly. Keep the elbows in close and lower down. Inhale for cobra. Exhale down. Push up to your hands and knees and downward facing dog. Inhale to press back, lift your hips. Exhale as you step to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, fold. Reach all the way up on your in-breath. Exhale, turn to the right. Inhale up. And to the left. Back up. Fold forward. Lengthen the spine halfway. Exhale as you step back to plank and lower to the mat, all on the out breath. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift the hips as you press back and step to the top of the mat. Lengthen the spine and fold forward. Reach all the way up overhead. And again, turn to the right. Reach up and turn to the left. Reach up and fold forward. Lengthen as you inhale. Exhale, step to plank and lower down, all as you breathe out. Inhale for cobra. Downward facing dog. Inhale, press back. Exhale, top of the mat. We'll go through all of that one more time. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Reach all the way up overhead. And we'll turn to the right. Reach up. And turn to the left. And up. Fold forward. Lengthen the spine. Step to plank and lower down. Inhale for cobra. Downward facing dog. Couple of breaths. And we're moving on now. Look between the hands. Step to the top of the mat. Inhale to lengthen. Fold forward. Roll all the way up. Reach up overhead. And this time, bring your hands to your heart. Shift your weight over to your left foot and lift your right knee. So if you were here Tuesday, we did some of this on Tuesday. Little balance work. So option to stay right here, balancing on your left leg, and just allow all those little micro adjustments in your left ankle to keep you balanced. Option number 2 is to reach your left arm out and take the right peace fingers down around the right toe. So you can stay right there, balancing there. Option number 3 is to extend that right leg. Now it's important to find something to stare at, kind of like a laser beam. Hold your balance. We won't stay here too long. If your leg's extended, let's bring the knee back in, release the toe if you're holding it, and we'll extend this right leg and reach it straight out to the back, still balancing on the left leg. We'll pause right there just a moment in Warrior 3. So you can tip a lot in Warrior 3, or you can tip just a little bit with the foot floating barely off the mat. Begin to bend into your left knee and step those right toes way back to the back of the mat. We'll leave the heel lifted for right now, and we'll spin it down in a few minutes. So let's go ahead and lift up and reach overhead. As you exhale, bring the elbows down to the ribs and lower the right knee down just to hover and press back up. Keeping that nice bend in the left knee. And then sweep your hands back by your hips. Take your chest down toward your thigh. And reach back up overhead. And now we'll spin that right heel down and open out for Warrior 2. So we still have that nice bend in the knee in front. Left knee is right over the ankle. And your gaze is right down your left arm. So in Warrior 2, you can get a lot of space between the feet and sit really, really low, or a little bit less space and sit up a little bit higher. So find what's good for your body today. Let's take both arms up overhead, straighten the left leg, and then sit back in. Option to sit in a little bit deeper this time. Now let's keep this leg bent. Take both hands up. Take the right fingers around the left wrist and pull back. Long side bend. And then we'll release back out to Warrior 2. And then straighten your left leg. Reach forward. And then we'll take this left hand down to your shin. You can set your hand on a block inside your foot, or take your hand or your fingertips down to the mat. Reach that right hand up to the ceiling as you lengthen your spine. Turn your heart, turn your gaze to the right. Trikonasana, or triangle pose. So here we really want our head and neck to just extend out from the spine. option here to take this right hand with the palm facing the floor out in front of you, and then sweep it out and reach past the top of your head. Kind of an extended triangle pose. One more breath here. If you're reaching out long, let's sweep that hand back up toward the ceiling. And then bring the right hand down to the mat as you bend into the left knee. Turn that heel up and back and frame your foot with your hands. Beautiful. All right, now press through the right hand and lift the left hand to the ceiling. And then let's try the same thing here. Bring this hand down, reaching your arms straight out in front of you, and then sweep through to reach past the top of your head. Now sweep that hand back up to the ceiling and bring the left hand down. We'll step back for plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale for cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look between the thumbs, step to the top of the mat. Inhale to lengthen the spine and fold forward. Roll all the way up, reach up, and hands to your heart. Now let's shift the weight over to the right foot and lift the left knee this time. Standing up nice and tall, and you may choose to stay right here. Maybe take that right hand out and reach around to grab the left toe. Again, lengthening the spine, finding something to stare at. And if you did on the other side, maybe try extending your leg right out in front. We'll only stay here a couple of breaths. Breathe. If your leg is extended, bend that knee back in. If you're holding the toe, release. And then we'll sweep this left leg straight out and back to float. Maybe a little off the mat, maybe a lot. Pausing here just briefly. And then we'll bend the right knee and step way back to the back of the mat. Inhale as you reach up. So this is so great we get this great hip flexor stretch right here in the front. And the deeper you bend in, the deeper that stretch. But listen to your body here. So we've got our heel lifted and back right now. As you exhale, lower your arms down, bend that left knee, hover. Press back up just one time. And then sweep back, take your chest to your thigh. And then back up. And now we'll open back out, warrior two. Centering your body weight between your feet here. Your spine is vertical. Your gaze is right down your right arm. Now straighten the right leg, reach up. And then exhale to sit back in. Keeping the right knee bent, we'll reach both hands up. Reach the left fingers around the right wrist and pull back, reverse warrior. And then open back out, warrior two. Straighten your right leg. Reach forward. triangle pose. So we'll take this right hand down to your shin, to a block or to the mat, and then reach the left hand straight up. Turning your heart and turning your gaze to the left, extending the spine long. Steady flow of the breath here. Lower that left arm so you're reaching straight out in front of you, and then sweep out to reach past the top of your head. And we'll sweep that left arm back up to the ceiling. Reach up one more time. Inhale. And then exhale, lower down as you bend into the right knee. Turn the left heel up and frame your foot in front. Press through the left hand and inhale the right hand up. And then let's lower the right arm and sweep out to reach past the top of the head. Reach back up to the ceiling. And right hand comes down. We'll step back to plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga, lower down. Inhale for cobra. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Now, big step to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Fold forward. And reach all the way up. Breathe in. Bring your hands to your heart. So we'll do basically that same flow, but we'll start out with a little bit different balance pose, kind of like we did on Tuesday. So this time, we'll shift the weight over to the left foot. Take the weight out of the right foot, and option number one is to turn this right knee out and place the sole of the foot against the ankle with the toes resting on the mat. So that's option one. So the toes can give you a little something more to balance on there for this tree pose. Then if you want to, slide your foot up onto your calf. We're keeping this knee open and keeping the left hip pulled in as we stand tall. And then option number three is to take the sole of the foot inside the thigh, press there, thigh against the foot, foot against the thigh. And then pull that left hip in. As you reach up tall, right knee opens out. Hands can be at your heart, or you can take your arms out for balance, whatever is going to feel good and natural. If feeling natural, standing on one leg. One more breath. We'll come out of this slowly by bringing the right knee forward and then sweeping to the back, just like before. Pausing just for a moment in warrior three. And then step way back of the mat, keeping that heel turned toward the ceiling for right now. Reach up. Exhale, lower down. Press back up. And sweep back, chest comes low. And inhale, reach up, warrior two. Straighten and lift. Sit back in. Reach just the arms up. Grab the left wrist and pull back. And back to warrior two. Straighten the left leg. Reach out for triangle pose. And extended triangle if you like. Reaching back up for the ceiling. Bring the right hand down. Spin the right heel up as you bend the left knee. And inhale the left hand up. Sweeping out to extend the arm if you like. Back up for the ceiling. And bring that left hand down, step to plank. Chaturanga, lower down. Cobra pose, lift up. Downward facing dog. Let's step to the top of the mat. Lengthen halfway up. Fold forward. Roll up and reach. Hands to your heart, and all of that on the other side. So we'll shift to the right foot. Tree pose. This time standing on your right. Maybe slide up if you like. Maybe bring the foot inside the thigh if you like. And then finding the position for your hands that makes sense to you. Staying here just for a moment. A couple of breaths. One more inhale. And then we'll ease this left knee forward and extend to the back. Warrior three. And then step on back, way back. Reach up, heel faces the ceiling for now. Exhale, hover the knee. Inhale, press up. Exhale, sweep the arms. And press up. Warrior two. Straighten the right leg, reach overhead. And sit back in low. Both arms reach up. Grab the right wrist and pull back, reverse your warrior. Open back out, warrior two. Straighten the right leg, triangle pose. Reaching the left hand up for the ceiling. Long spine. And then maybe sweep that left arm out past the crown of your head as you reach out. And reach back up for the ceiling. And lower the left hand, bend the right knee. Inhale, right hand up. Sweep out long, extend. Back up to the ceiling. Lower the right hand and step to plank. Chaturanga, lower down. Inhale, cobra. Downward facing dog. I really wanted to go through that one more time. Let's do that. We'll flow with our breath, so not so much long holds this time. Step to the top of the mat. Because repetition is so good, because you kind of can drop into that yoga zone because you know what's coming, and you can just kind of turn your focus inward and just flow. Inhale to roll all the way up. Hands to your heart as you lift your right knee. Not staying here long. Open out, warrior three. Step way back and reach up. Hover the knee. Reach up. Sweep back. And up. Warrior two. Reach up, straighten the left leg. Sit back in. Reverse warrior. Warrior two. Triangle pose. Sweep that right arm out long. Back up to the ceiling. Your right hand down. Reach the left hand up. Sweep it out long. Back to the ceiling. And step to plank pose. Chaturanga. Cobra. Downward facing dog. Inhale, press back. Exhale, step to the top of the mat. Last time through. Lengthen the spine. Fold forward. Roll all the way up. Reach up. As you bring your hands to your heart, lift the left knee. Open out, warrior three. You guys look so great. Step to the back of the mat and reach up. Hover the knee. Press up. Sweep back. And reach up. Warrior two. Straighten and reach up. Exhale to sit low. Reverse warrior. Warrior two. Triangle pose. Reach that left arm out long. Back to the ceiling. Left hand down. Left heel up. Right hand goes up. Sweep it out long. Back to the ceiling. And step back to plank. Chaturanga. Cobra pose. Downward facing dog. Walk your feet in toward your hands. As you get fairly close, cross your ankles, bend the knees and have a seat. Let's take both legs straight out in front. Bending your knees, hold behind your knees. And then let's begin to shift our weight back. So we're rolling onto kind of a little balancing place between your sitting bones and your tailbone. And then when you feel like you are ready, let's float those legs up. Bring the shins parallel to the ceiling. Crucial movement here. Lift your low back, lift your heart, extend your spine. Lengthen the collarbones. Option to extend both arms out. Hold and breathe. Now, on your next exhale, bring the knees in slightly, small movement, and then take them out on the inhale, not all the way. Exhale, crunch in slightly. Inhale, reach out. How about one more? Bring the knees in. Extend out. Now let's begin to extend more. Lower down as you open out, lowering ever so slowly down to the mat, all the way down. Well, you know what they say, strong core, strong body, right? Well, we're to the part where we lower the lights and take a few moments to lengthen everything out. Muscles are warm now. Let's bring one knee and then the other into your chest and hold your shins. Now lower your right foot and your left. Take your arms out to the side, palms down, reaching down toward your hips or your heels. Inhale to pull the belly button in and press the low back down to the mat. Exhale as you press both hips up. Bridge pose. Shift the weight over into the right foot and lift that left leg up. Pull the knee in. And then cross that left ankle on top of the right thigh. Hips are still lifted. You have a figure 4 in the legs. And lower down slowly. Reach both hands behind the right leg and pull everything in. Let's lower that right foot down and the left. Reposition yourself here so the heels are in fairly close to the hips. Hands are reaching right down beside the hips for the heels. Inhale, press your low back down. And exhale to push both hips again up to the ceiling. Shift your weight over to your left foot this time. Lift that right knee and pull it into the ceiling. And then cross the right ankle on top of the left thigh, keeping the hips lifted. One more breath. And then lower down, slow. Reach behind the left leg, pull everything in. I'll lower that left foot and uncross. Reach both arms straight out to the side. Walk the inner edges of your feet in to touch and your knees. Press through your feet, lift the hips slightly up and just set just the hips over toward the right side of your mat. And then let the knees fall to the left. So if you're feeling like you want to go into a deeper twist, you can extend that right leg out and hold the right foot with the left hand. Optional. You can also turn your head and look toward your right hand. Slowly begin to make your way back over onto your back. Both knees bent, feet planted. Bring your head, neck, and spine down the center of your mat so everything's in line. Walk the inner edges of your feet together. Push through the feet, lift the hips up and set them over to the left slightly and let the knees fall to the right. And then take whatever option feels good here. You can extend the left leg and hold the left foot in the right hand. Turn your head toward your left hand. And now begin to make your way back over onto your back. Once again, bring your head, neck, and spine down the center line of your mat. And we'll slide the hands in a little closer to the hips now. Relax the arms. Walk your feet in so the inner edges of the feet touch. And then slowly open the knees out, bringing the soles of the feet together. Let's be very intentional here about relaxing in the shoulders, releasing the tension in the back of your neck. Maybe bring a little bit of space between your teeth, soften your jaw. Smooth out the little spot between your eyebrows. So option to stay right there for the last 2 or 3 minutes. If you would like to, you can extend your legs out long. So arms and legs are extended. Either one And bring your awareness back to your space. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Rotate your wrists and your ankles. And reach your arms out for a nice, big, long stretch. Big inhale. Exhale. Bend your knees, plant your feet. Rock your knees side to side. And then let your knees fall all the way over to one side or the other. Roll over to rest your head on your arm. Extend your top leg long and push yourself up to a simple seated position. Taking just one more moment here to kind of gather the peace and calm that you might be feeling right now. And set an intention to carry that with us as we go out of the YMCA today. Now inhale to reach overhead. And exhale, hands to your heart. Blessings. So glad you guys were here. Hope you have a great